Uh, the first one I'm reading is called Thin, and it's actually reflected on Esther Lee, who was actually here yesterday. I actually read one of her poems and was kind of playing with that style as I did today. Thin. I have been depressed lately. This time it's different. Depression sits on the backsides of my eyelids, heavy like a lake after a storm, when all is gray-green and mud-caked and nothing makes sense. I looked at you this morning, searching your sleeping face for answers. Do you think a starling has armor to fight? I feel thin veiled. Can you save me? You whisper to the cat. She is sitting on your horizontal belly, eyes the color of midnight diner eggs. Many times you ask this, and many times the answer is the same. Silence, a nap, a warm belly. Some days I walk with a limp only seen by myself. This next one is called Frida. It's actually based about a painting that I saw at the High Museum. And so I've been inspired by Frida Kahlo since I was in high school, so this is kind of my tribute to her. So, Frida. It's almost like the painting is breathing. Sometimes what I think about art and what I'm supposed to think about art are two different animals, each with voices like tigers or lions, mastheads soaring schools of thought whose lessons never make sense to my ears. I don't always prefer the road to enlightenment based on what other people say. Sometimes I picture her skirts in motion, like forest fires making past destruction every step she takes. You will never forget when she has been there. The signs are everywhere. I wish I had power like that, but I am no natural disaster. If anything, I am a rainstorm, a minor inconvenience. My coats are always the color of moss, something that stays. One time, I thought I wanted to be a painter, so I took art classes. A perpetual B student because I always hid my work at home, hidden in a cool basement room, scribbling secrets on the canvas, masked in layer after layer of paint. Once there was even ash because some things need to touch fire to matter. I go dark gray sometimes, so I came here to see something beautiful, to be stunned. And I've sat here staring at a portrait. She has a thorn necklace too. I wonder if hers is heavy as mine. I wonder what it's like to fill the space behind her heart. Alright, this one is a diary entry poem that I used for a poetry workshop this semester. February 2014. There are times when the world feels so heavy, and I am a southern Sisyphus, burning everything on both ends because to do otherwise would cause my world to sink, collapse into the sea. Last fall, when every time I found myself at a red light, I would count down the hours for how long it would take to drive to Florida. 5.5 for security. I want to stand underneath a giant redwood tree and marvel at its size, then run as fast as I can to see the northern lights. These things cannot take place at the same time, I know. But I need to do things that are miraculous. Sometimes because I get tired of feeling heavy, rational, safe. Clock ticks down time, and here we all are. That cannot be. So will you be my lightning bug? Will you run with me into the corners of our hearts? Into portrait galleries, laughing and falling over ourselves? Just let me know. And the last piece is called Philosophies, and this is one that I've been working on. So, I read that in the Bible that John the Baptist lived on locusts and wild honey. When I was a kid, I would run full speed, barefooted into the woods, and I would not return until it was dark out. Everything was wonderful and nothing dangerous. I had no fear, or if I had fear, it took the form of a daddy's cry to understand that nature is not always a safe place. There are snakes out there. You're going to get bugs all over you. Things change. Brooklyn decided to take off for some time. He told me he wanted to go somewhere he had never been before. He chose Iceland, and he chose to go alone. I wish I could be that brave, stomp around someplace alone. There are so many wonders that I want to see on this globe, though I am not as brave as I once was. George hiked the entire length of the Pacific Crest Trail. He would document it as he walked step by step. We were much younger than we are now. I asked him how he felt in the middle, and he said, "My feet hurt, but I am loving life." He also flew to Alaska to spend time in the vast wilderness, sleeping under a blanket of the stars. I read all this behind the locked door of the bedroom. I wish I could be that dedicated to wild things, even only for a short